Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to be here with you today to share some thoughts that might just change the way you approach life, relationships, and your journey towards success. You know, we often think of love and relationships as being a matter of chance, but I'm here to tell you that there are things you can do, actions you can take, decisions you can make that will put you in the driver's seat, creating a magnetic force that attracts what you desire. Today, I want to talk about 5 bold moves that will make others pursue you. These moves are not just about attracting someone else, they are about becoming the best version of yourself. When you do this, you become someone who commands respect and admiration. You don't need to chase people who will begin to chase you. Let's take a moment to reflect on the power of confidence. Confidence is more than just a trait. It's a force that shapes your life, influences how others perceive you, and most importantly, determines how you perceive yourself. The reason confidence is so crucial is that it radiates from within. It's a silent language that speaks volumes before you even say a word. The truth is, confidence isn't something you are born with, it's something you develop. It's the result of repeated actions, decisions, and beliefs that tell you that you are enough. If you've ever been in a room where someone walked in and immediately caught your attention, you've witnessed the power of confidence in action. It wasn't necessarily their appearance or the way they dressed. It was the way they carried themselves, the way they moved through the space with purpose, certainty, and self-assurance. Now, I want you to think about your own life. How do you carry yourself on a daily basis? When you walk into a room, do you own it? Do you walk with purpose or do you shuffle in, hoping that no one notices you? The truth is, confidence is a choice, and it's a choice that can transform not only how others view you, but also how you view yourself. The first step toward developing confidence is rooted in belief. You must believe in your own potential. You must believe that you are worthy of success, of respect, and of love. Confidence begins with a mindset shift that says, I am enough as I am. This belief is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about trusting in your own abilities and having the courage to pursue what you want, knowing that you have the tools to get there. If you walk around constantly doubting yourself, second-guessing your every move, you send a message to the world that you don't trust your own abilities. That's not the kind of energy that attracts others. You must cultivate a belief system that supports your growth. You must stand tall in your worth and believe that you are worthy of the things you desire, whether it's love, success, or respect. Let me tell you something about belief. It's contagious. When you believe in yourself, others can't help but believe in you too. They see your confidence, your unwavering belief in your own potential, and they are naturally drawn to it. There's a magnetic quality about someone who carries themselves with belief. One of the most immediate ways to project confidence is through your posture. Your body language tells a story long before you open your mouth. Think about how you stand, how you sit, how you walk. Do you hunch over, avoiding eye contact, or do you stand tall, shoulders back, head held high? Posture communicates a sense of strength and assertiveness. It shows that you are in control of your body and your environment. When you stand tall and take up space, you are telling the world that you belong there. You are showing that you are someone who commands respect, someone who believes they have a place in this world. If you want to make an impression, start by changing the way you carry yourself. Stand with your shoulders back, your chest open, and your chin lifted. Walk with intention, as though you have a purpose and a destination. These simple changes in posture can immediately boost your sense of confidence and change the way others perceive you. Confidence isn't just about the way you stand, it's also about the way you speak. The words you use, the tone of your voice, and the pace at which you speak all contribute to how confident you appear. Speaking with certainty means expressing your thoughts clearly and without hesitation. It means not second-guessing yourself or trailing off at the end of a sentence. I want you to think about this when you speak. Do you do so as though you are asking for permission? Or do you speak as though your words have weight and meaning? Confidence in speech is about owning what you say. It's about speaking with clarity, without the need for validation. Think about some of the most influential leaders, public speakers, and successful individuals. They don't speak with uncertainty or doubt. They speak with conviction. When they say something, they believe it to their core. You can adopt this same mindset. When you speak, speak with the belief that your words have value. Whether you're speaking in a meeting, a social setting, or even in a one-on-one conversation, practice speaking clearly, assertively, and with purpose. One of the greatest barriers to confidence is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These are all obstacles that hold us back from moving boldly. But here's the truth: fear is natural. It's a part of being human. The key to confidence is not eliminating fear, but rather learning how to move through it. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it's the ability to take action despite fear. It's having the courage to pursue what you want, even when the outcome is uncertain. Every successful person has experienced fear at some point. But what sets them apart is that they don't allow fear to dictate their actions. Instead, they embrace it as a natural part of the process and move forward anyway. When you learn to take action despite fear, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. And each time you face fear and move past it, you grow stronger and more confident. Finally, true confidence comes from being authentic. There is no greater power than being true to yourself. When you try to be someone you're not, when you put on a mask to fit in or to impress others, you lose your sense of self. Authenticity is the foundation of confidence. When you are comfortable with who you are, when you embrace your uniqueness, you radiate an energy that attracts others. Confidence doesn't mean trying to be perfect. It means accepting your flaws and your strengths alike and being unapologetically yourself. When you embrace your true self, you give others permission to do the same, and in turn, you create an environment where you are respected and admired for exactly who you are. Confidence is not a skill reserved for a select few. It is something that can be cultivated and nurtured by anyone. It begins with belief, is reinforced by your actions and posture, and grows stronger each time you face your fears. When you move boldly with confidence, you show the world that you are a force to be reckoned with. You don't need to chase anyone or anything. The right people will be drawn to you because of the strength and authenticity you exude. And that's the kind of confidence that truly makes a difference. In the journey of life, one of the most powerful decisions you can make is to set high standards for yourself and for the people and opportunities you allow into your life. Many people go through life without giving much thought to their standards. They drift along, accepting whatever comes their way, hoping that things will work out. But let me tell you, settling is not a strategy for success. Settling is for those who are content with mediocrity. And if you want to live a life of greatness, you have to start by demanding greatness from yourself and others. Setting standards is a bold act. It means deciding that you will no longer accept less than what you deserve. It means making a commitment to yourself that you will only engage with people, opportunities, and situations that align with your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. Let me be clear, setting standards is not about being rigid, inflexible, or demanding perfection from yourself or others. It's about holding yourself to a higher level of accountability. It's about creating a life where you no longer settle for anything less than what you know you are capable of achieving. We live in a world where mediocrity often feels like the norm. The world tells us to settle, to lower our expectations, to accept whatever comes our way. But here's the reality: if you don't set your own standards, someone else will set them for you. And if you allow others to set your standards, you may end up with a life that doesn't reflect your true potential. When you set your own standards, you take control of your life. You define what is acceptable and what is not. You create a blueprint for how you want to be treated, how you want to work, and what kind of relationships you want to build. Setting standards is an act of self-respect. It says, I am worth more than what is currently being offered, and I will not settle for less. Now, let's be clear about what I mean by standards. Standards are not just about the things you want, they're about the kind of person you want to become. They are not about finding shortcuts or compromising your values. They are about holding yourself accountable to the best version of who you can be. It's important to distinguish between standards and expectations. Setting high expectations can sometimes lead to disappointment because expectations are often based on outcomes or actions of others. Expectations are things we hope for, but they are not always within our control. Standards, on the other hand, are rooted in our own behaviors, actions, and principles. When you set a standard, you are focusing on what you will do, how you will show up, and what you will show up, and what you will accept. Expectations may set us up for disappointment because they rely on external factors. Standards, however, are about personal accountability and what you will accept in your life. For instance, you may expect a promotion at work, but if you don't set the standard for excellence in your performance and behavior, that promotion may never come. On the other hand, if you set a standard for hard work, discipline, and continual growth, those actions will inevitably lead to higher opportunities and rewards, regardless of the external circumstances. One of the most critical areas where we must set standards is in our relationships. Whether they are romantic, professional, or platonic, the people we surround ourselves with have a tremendous impact on our lives. Far too often, we settle for relationships that don't serve us, relationships that are toxic, unfulfilling, or simply not aligned with our values. When you don't set standards in relationships, you allow others to determine how you are treated. This can lead to hurt, disappointment, and a sense of being unworthy. But when you set standards in relationships, you refuse to settle for anything less than respect, support, and mutual growth. For example, setting a standard in a romantic relationship means that you don't accept disrespect, dishonesty, or anything less than love, care, and appreciation. Setting a standard in a friendship means surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, encourage you, and challenge you to grow. Setting a standard in a business partnership means working with those who are committed, reliable, and aligned with your vision. In short, setting standards in relationships means that you define what kind of people you want in your life and refuse to settle for anything less. Your career is another area where standards play a critical role. Too many people accept jobs, promotions, and work environments that don't align with their goals or values simply because they feel it's the only option available to them. But here's the truth: you don't have to settle for a job that drains you, a work culture that doesn't align with your values, or a paycheck that doesn't reflect your worth. When you set standards for your career, you determine what you want and refuse to settle for less. You ask yourself questions like, what kind of work excites me? What kind of impact do I want to have? What kind of environment do I thrive in? What compensation reflects my skills and value? By setting these standards, you take control of your career trajectory. Instead of passively accepting whatever opportunities come your way, you actively pursue the ones that align with your vision. This requires courage and a willingness to turn down offers that don't meet your standards, but the result is a more fulfilling and successful career. One of the greatest skills you can develop in setting standards is the ability to say no. Saying no is an act of self-respect. It's a way of telling the world, this is not aligned with my standards, and I will not accept it. Saying no is not about being difficult or inflexible. It's about recognizing your value and choosing to protect your time, energy, and well-being. The more you practice saying no to things that don't serve you, the more you reinforce your standards. This can apply to everything from saying no to toxic relationships, to saying no to work that isn't fulfilling, to saying no to offers that don't reflect your worth. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your standards, you reinforce the message to yourself and the world that you will not settle for less. Settling for less than you deserve comes with consequences. When you settle, you start to lose sight of your potential. You begin to believe that mediocrity is all that you deserve. And that belief starts to shape your life in negative ways. Settling breeds dissatisfaction, frustration, and ultimately a sense of unfulfilled potential. But when you set and uphold high standards, you create a life that reflects your true value. You attract people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your worth. You begin to realize that your standards are not just limits, they are the gateways to a life of abundance, success, and fulfillment. Setting standards is a fundamental part of creating a life of purpose and excellence. It's not about being difficult or demanding, it's about knowing your worth, protecting your energy, and ensuring that your life aligns with your values and goals. When you set high standards, you open the door to greater opportunities, more fulfilling relationships, and a more successful career. Don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. Set your standards high and watch your life transform. The idea of independence is often romanticized in books, movies, and self-help literature, but the reality of cultivating true independence is often more challenging than we might anticipate. Independence doesn't just mean doing things on your own or being self-sufficient in a material sense. It's about a deeper form of autonomy, one that comes from within. It's about developing a mindset that allows you to rely on yourself, trust your own judgment, and validate your worth internally rather than seeking external approval. You see, so many people today live their lives seeking validation from others. They look for external cues, whether from friends, colleagues, or strangers, to determine their self-worth, their decisions, and their actions. This need for validation, though natural in some ways, can become a trap that holds you back from reaching your full potential. When you rely too heavily on others to tell you who you are or what you should do, you lose sight of your own power. The truth is, true independence comes from within. And it is rooted in the way you see yourself, not how others see you. The dependency trap is something many people fall into without even realizing it. From a young age, we are conditioned to seek approval. We're told by our teachers, parents, and peers what's good and bad, what's acceptable and unacceptable. And as we grow older, this habit often sticks. We seek external validation because we have been taught to measure our worth based on the opinions of others. The danger of this is that when you seek validation externally, you are putting the power of your self-esteem into the hands of others. This can be a volatile situation. People will always have their own biases, opinions, and perspectives, and you cannot control how they see you. You could be having an off day, make a mistake, or encounter someone who just doesn't resonate with who you are, and suddenly their judgment can make you question your own worth. It's easy to slip into a pattern where you base your decisions, your actions, and your self-worth on the feedback you get from others. But when you depend on this validation, you give away your power. You allow the world to dictate who you are, and that's not a place of strength. This is why cultivating independence is so essential. It allows you to take back control of your life and your self-perception. True independence starts with self-validation. It's about recognizing that you are enough, regardless of whether or not others approve of you. This is the foundation of a strong, unshakable sense of self. When you validate yourself, you become immune to the opinions of others. Their praise or criticism no longer has the power to dictate your emotions or decisions. You start to operate from a place of internal confidence, knowing that your worth is not contingent upon the fleeting approval of others. Self-validation is not about being arrogant or ignoring constructive feedback. It's about trusting yourself enough to make decisions that align with your values, goals, and desires. It's about knowing that you have the ability to navigate life's challenges, and you don't need anyone else to give you permission to succeed. It's also important to understand that self-validation doesn't come from ego. It's not about believing that you are better than others, but rather about understanding that you are equal to everyone else. You have your own unique set of talents, experiences, and perspectives, and your worth is not defined by comparison. It's about honoring who you are, independent of external judgment. Confidence is a natural byproduct of independence. When you start to validate yourself, you begin to develop a deep sense of inner confidence. This confidence is not based on external circumstances, achievements, or others' opinions. It comes from within. It's the quiet assurance that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way because you trust your own judgment and abilities. When you rely on your own confidence, you stop looking outside of yourself for reassurance. You stop doubting your decisions, second-guessing your actions, or constantly asking for others' opinions. Instead, you act with conviction, knowing that the path you're walking is the one that feels right for you. This doesn't mean you never ask for advice or support from others, but it means that you make your decisions based on what feels true to you, not because you're seeking validation from the outside world. Independence gives you the freedom to live authentically. When you are not constantly seeking validation from others, you can make decisions based on your own values, desires, and intuition. You no longer have to worry about fitting into someone else's mold or meeting their expectations. You are free to pursue your own dreams, take risks, and forge your own path. One of the most liberating aspects of independence is that it gives you the freedom to say no when you need to. You no longer feel the need to please others or accommodate their desires at the expense of your own. You develop the courage to protect your time, your energy, and your boundaries, and you stop allowing others to dictate your life's direction. Independence is not about isolation, but about the ability to be true to yourself regardless of outside pressures. When you cultivate independence, you also build resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way, and having the ability to rely on yourself and trust your own judgment is one of the most powerful ways to navigate these challenges. The more you validate yourself, the stronger you become emotionally. You stop depending on external circumstances or people to make you feel good, and instead, you develop an inner emotional fortitude. This emotional strength comes from the confidence that you can handle any adversity. Whether you face a setback, a difficult situation, or criticism from others, you know that you can weather the storm because you trust in your own abilities. You don't need to seek validation to feel better about yourself. Your internal foundation is solid, and you know that no matter what happens on the outside, your sense of self-worth remains intact. When you rely too much on others for validation, you risk becoming emotionally dependent. You allow your sense of self-worth to be controlled by their moods, their opinions, and their behaviors. This can lead to unhealthy relationships and a lack of personal growth. By seeking validation externally, you are essentially putting your happiness in someone else's hands, and that is a dangerous place to be. Over time, this dependency can erode your self-esteem as you start to believe that you are only as valuable as others perceive you. You may also become stuck in patterns of people-pleasing, where you constantly adjust your behavior and opinions to fit in or to gain approval. This type of dependency keeps you from living authentically, and it prevents you from developing the independence and self-respect that you need to thrive. Cultivating independence is about taking ownership of your life and your self-worth. It's about validating yourself from the inside out and not relying on others to tell you who you are or what you should do. When you make the conscious decision to seek internal validation, you free yourself from the need to conform to others' expectations and the pressure of external judgment. You develop emotional resilience, the courage to be yourself, and the confidence to pursue your own path. The journey of life is not a fixed path, but a dynamic process of constant change. You see, the only thing that is truly constant in this world is change itself. The world around you is always evolving, and so must you. To stay stagnant is to risk becoming irrelevant, losing purpose, and ultimately feeling unfulfilled. The key to leading a life of meaning, excitement, and success is to keep growing and keep evolving. Growth and evolution are not optional in a world that is constantly advancing. Whether it's in your career, relationships, health, or personal development, stagnation is the silent enemy of progress. People often feel they have reached a plateau, that they have done all they can do, but in truth, this plateau is simply a mindset. It is a barrier you place in your own mind. And the beauty of evolution is that it's always possible to break free from it. You can always grow, learn, and become something more than what you are today. Growth requires a deep understanding and acceptance of one fundamental truth: change is inevitable. You cannot escape it, and trying to do so will only lead to frustration and disappointment. Everything around you, society, technology, nature changes, and if you do not change with it, you will be left behind. But the most important aspect of change is that it doesn't happen to you, it happens because of you. Your actions, your mindset, and your willingness to evolve drive your personal growth. Embracing change begins with the realization that comfort zones are often the breeding grounds for complacency. Many people resist change because they fear the unknown, the discomfort, or the effort it takes to start something new. However, change doesn't have to be a source of fear. It can be a powerful force that propels you toward your next great achievement. In fact, growth only occurs when you step outside of your comfort zone and take risks. Without this willingness to evolve, your potential remains untapped, and you lose out on the possibility of growth. At the core of evolution is the development of a growth mindset. This concept, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, centers around the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. With a growth mindset, you begin to see challenges as opportunities for learning and failure as a stepping stone toward success. Instead of being discouraged by setbacks, you view them as valuable lessons that refine your skills and expand your knowledge. The key difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset is the way challenges are approached. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are set in stone, and as a result, they avoid challenges that might expose their weaknesses. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset see challenges as invitations to grow. They understand that their abilities are not predetermined, and that continuous effort is the key to unlocking their full potential. This mindset shift is crucial if you want to keep growing and evolving. Without it, you limit your opportunities for development. By adopting a growth mindset, you open yourself up to the possibility of improvement, even when the path ahead looks difficult or uncertain. You stop seeing growth as a destination and instead see it as an ongoing journey, one where you are always capable of becoming better than you were yesterday. Growth and evolution are inseparable from the pursuit of knowledge. In the modern world, information is more accessible than ever before. Whether it's through books, podcasts, online courses, or mentors, there is no shortage of resources to help you learn and grow. But the key is not just to consume information passively, it's to actively seek knowledge and apply it to your life. Lifelong learning is one of the most important practices you can adopt. It ensures that you are always moving forward, always growing. The world is evolving rapidly, and staying relevant means constantly updating your skills, your knowledge, and your perspective. Without continual learning, you risk becoming outdated, and that's a dangerous place to be. Learning can take many forms: formal education, professional development, personal reflection, or even informal discussions with others. But no matter the form it takes, the goal should be the same: to always seek improvement. This can be in the form of mastering a new skill, gaining a deeper understanding of a subject, or expanding your emotional intelligence. Every time you commit to learning, you move a step forward in your evolution. Growth doesn't come without its challenges. It requires hard work, persistence, and sometimes discomfort. As you move forward in life, you will encounter obstacles, you will experience failures, doubts, and setbacks. But these challenges are part of the process. They are not signs that you should stop, they are signals that you are on the right path. The key to overcoming challenges lies in your resilience and adaptability. The ability to bounce back from failure and continue moving forward is what separates those who thrive from those who stagnate. When things get tough, remind yourself that growth is not linear. It's messy. There will be moments when you feel like you've taken 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But remember, even 1 step forward is progress. The important thing is to keep going. During times of difficulty, it's essential to stay committed to your vision for growth. Trust that every challenge you face is shaping you into someone stronger, more capable, and better equipped for the future. The obstacles you encounter along the way are not roadblocks, they are opportunities to evolve into the next version of yourself. Embrace the challenges and know that they are part of the growth process. One of the most powerful tools for growth is self-reflection. It's through reflection that you can truly evaluate your progress, learn from your mistakes, and fine-tune your approach. Self-reflection allows you to look back and recognize the lessons that each experience has offered you. Without reflection, you might move through life without fully understanding why certain things happened or how you can improve moving forward. Incorporating regular self-reflection into your life provides clarity and helps you maintain a sense of direction. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of everyday life, but taking time to pause, evaluate, and realign yourself with your goals keeps you focused. By reflecting on your actions, your thoughts, and your behaviors, you can identify areas for improvement and celebrate the progress you've made. Self-reflection isn't just about looking backward, it's also about looking forward. It helps you identify your aspirations and set new goals for yourself. When you reflect on where you've been, you gain insight into where you're headed. Without self-reflection, growth becomes directionless. With it, you gain the clarity and focus necessary to continue evolving toward the person you are meant to become. Growth is a lifelong journey, and it's one that requires dedication, patience, and a willingness to embrace change. As you keep growing, you continue to evolve into a better version of yourself. This evolution doesn't stop with a single achievement or milestone. It's a continuous process of self-improvement, learning, and adaptation. You are never done growing, and that's the beauty of it. Each day is an opportunity to improve, to expand your understanding, and to challenge yourself to be better. Keep growing, keep evolving, and know that the process of personal development is not something that has an endpoint. It's a journey, not a destination. And the more you commit to it, the more extraordinary your life will become. Self-respect is the cornerstone of a healthy, fulfilling life. It is the inner strength that anchors you to your true values, keeps you grounded, and helps you navigate through life's challenges with dignity and confidence. Without self-respect, you become susceptible to the opinions, criticisms, and manipulations of others. You lose touch with who you truly are and start to live for external validation instead of honoring your own sense of worth. Cultivating unshakable self-respect is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your personal well-being and long-term success. To show unshakable self-respect is to be steadfast in the knowledge that you deserve the same kindness, understanding, and care that you extend to others. It's about setting boundaries that protect your emotional and physical well-being. It's about maintaining integrity, regardless of the circumstances. The truth is that self-respect is not just about feeling good about yourself on a surface level. It's about creating a deep and unwavering foundation that stands firm even in the face of adversity, doubt, or external pressure. Self-respect is built on a foundation of self-awareness and self-acceptance. To develop it, you must first take the time to understand yourself, your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your aspirations. Without this understanding, it is impossible to fully respect yourself because you won't know what deserves to be honored in your life. Self-awareness allows you to recognize the areas of your life where you may be compromising your values or your well-being. It gives you the clarity to make decisions that align with your true self instead of acting out of fear, obligation, or the need for approval. The more you understand yourself, the more you can protect your sense of worth and keep your boundaries intact. Self-acceptance, on the other hand, is about embracing who you are right now. It's about acknowledging both your strengths and your flaws without judgment. Too often, people fall into the trap of thinking they need to be perfect to deserve respect, but this is a dangerous myth. The truth is, self-respect isn't about being flawless, it's about being comfortable in your own skin, accepting your imperfections, and committing to continuous growth and improvement. Boundaries are a direct reflection of how much you value yourself. When you set clear boundaries, you communicate to others what is acceptable and what is not. Boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about ensuring that you are treated with the respect and consideration you deserve. People who lack self-respect often fail to establish boundaries, either because they are afraid of conflict or because they feel undeserving of protection. Without boundaries, you allow others to treat you poorly, disrespect your time and energy, and take advantage of your kindness. Setting boundaries might mean saying no to requests that drain you or don't align with your values, even if others don't understand or agree. It could mean ending relationships that are toxic or emotionally harmful, or distancing yourself from situations where you feel unappreciated or mistreated. The ability to say no and walk away from what isn't serving you is one of the clearest demonstrations of self-respect. But boundaries also require consistency. It's not enough to set boundaries once and then allow them to be crossed again and again. To show unshakable self-respect, you must enforce your boundaries with strength and confidence. You need to be willing to stand firm in your decisions, regardless of how others react or whether they try to push your limits. The more you enforce your boundaries, the more you reinforce your own sense of self-worth. Integrity is one of the most vital elements of self-respect. It is the alignment of your thoughts, actions, and words with your values. When you live with integrity, you are true to yourself and you make decisions based on your beliefs rather than external pressures or expectations. Integrity ensures that you stay authentic to your core principles, even when it's difficult, unpopular, or inconvenient. Living with integrity means being honest with yourself and others. It means honoring your commitments, even when no one is watching. Integrity helps you maintain your dignity and confidence because you know that you are living in accordance with your values. When you lose integrity, you lose your ability to respect yourself because your actions no longer align with your true nature. The more you practice integrity, the more your self-respect will grow. You will no longer feel the need to apologize for your decisions or explain your actions to others. Instead, you will stand firm in the knowledge that you are doing what is best for you, regardless of what others may think. Self-respect is not only about holding yourself to high standards and upholding your values, it is also about treating yourself with kindness and compassion. Many people mistake self-respect for harsh self-judgment or perfectionism. But true self-respect includes the ability to forgive yourself and show yourself grace, especially when things don't go as planned. Self-compassion allows you to acknowledge your mistakes without letting them define your worth. When you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up or criticizing yourself, practice understanding and compassion. Remind yourself that everyone is imperfect, and mistakes are opportunities for growth and learning. By treating yourself with compassion, you reinforce the idea that you deserve respect, even when you falter. This internal kindness creates a positive cycle of self-respect that allows you to bounce back stronger and more committed to your personal values. Self-respect requires consistency. It's not enough to show respect for yourself only when it's convenient or when others are watching. Unshakable self-respect is built through the consistent practice of honoring yourself and your boundaries day after day. Every decision you make, no matter how small, contributes to the way you view yourself. When you consistently make choices that reflect your values and respect for yourself, your sense of self-worth grows. For example, consistently prioritizing your health, your mental well-being, and your personal goals communicates to the world and to yourself that you value these things. Likewise, consistently choosing to be around people who uplift you rather than those who drain you shows that you respect your time and energy. Self-respect is not something you earn from others, it's something you demonstrate through your own actions and decisions. And when you consistently demonstrate it, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. Life is full of challenges that test your boundaries, integrity, and sense of self-respect. In moments of adversity, your commitment to self-respect is truly put to the test. It's easy to be confident and self-assured when everything is going well, but real strength comes when you face difficulties with unwavering respect for yourself. When you encounter adversity, remind yourself that your worth is not defined by external circumstances. No matter what happens, you remain valuable, worthy, and deserving of respect. Whether you're dealing with criticism, rejection, or failure, you must stand firm in the knowledge that your value does not change based on others' opinions or life's challenges. The ability to remain rooted in self-respect during tough times is a true sign of inner strength. It's about maintaining your sense of dignity and not allowing the negativity or hostility of others to shake your foundation. When you stay true to yourself during difficult times, you demonstrate a level of resilience and self-assurance that is both powerful and inspiring. Unshakable self-respect is the foundation of a meaningful, confident, and empowered life. It requires a deep commitment to understanding, accepting, and honoring who you are, as well as the courage to set boundaries, live with integrity, and remain consistent in your actions. By cultivating this inner strength, you create a life that is truly your own, one that is grounded in self-worth and immune to the judgments or manipulations of others. Self-respect is not something that is granted to you by others. It is something that you must cultivate and protect at all costs. And when you do, you will find that the world begins to mirror the respect you have for yourself.